very set comp that you have to come up with, and the way you have to design. I mean, I think as much of winning a tournament match, winning a tournament is about the setups you bring and the piloting. It's both, you know. So you can have really good pilots bring really bad setups and not do well, or you can have really good setups flown by bad pilots and not do well. And Tuskers have proven that they can do both. They brought some good setups and they've flown them really well. So I think that comes in where lack of experience perhaps could be an issue. They've shown that it hasn't affected them. So. Yeah.
That's interesting. I thought for a moment you were saying that Tuskers have both brought and flown well, and brought bad and flown bad. So.
Oh no.
But we're at the stage in the tournament where not a lot of bad teams are left.
No, I agree.
Once we pass through these best out of two series that are best out of three, the winners semifinals, we go back to the elimination bracket, where the teams that were already participating in these best out of threes have to fight again. So the loser of them, the loser of these matches fight at least an hour later, maybe more if it's a decisive victory. So, like you guys were saying before we went into the music video, some of these teams they might be fighting 4 matches today.
Yeah, there's actually so all of the teams that are in this first 4 matches, they all have the possibility of doing 4 matches today if they go all the way through. And yeah, if the series go to 3, then we could see the winners bracket guys, the losers of those winners bracket series, also having to play 4 matches in one day. And it is brutal. It is really tough. But we go into this expecting that the teams that are left are the best of the best, and they're going to be able to handle whatever we throw at them. And that's actually, I think, part of the Alliance tournament. It's not just about who pilots the best and who brings the best setups. It's also about which team is supported by a whole group of players in their alliance that help them do logistics and help them practice and spy and all of these kind of things that you can do. And being able to run multiple matches is one of the ways we can basically test that. Like, how good is your support team?
So while we wait for the delay to be cleared up and the problem to be cleared up, I should rather say, that's something that isn't helping the teams that have to fight that much today, that delay. We're very sorry for it, but we have an interview we did with the castabouts, members of the castabout team that we filmed in the week. Wow, I'm already getting brain farts. Isn't that wonderful? So now we go to an interview I did with the castabouts team, and let's see what their experience of the tournament was. From Castabouts, we have 2 representatives talking to us. Go ahead and introduce yourself, guys.
I'm Nopala. I flew as Plejaden as the team captain of Castabouts, and I'm joined by our Logi pilot.
Hi, I'm Boiglio. I flew on my alt Tammin Lee as the main logistics pilot for Castabouts in AT-12.
Welcome, guys. Nice to have you. Tell us a little bit, what was your experience with the tournament so far?
Well, that was our 4th tournament. Yeah, 4th tournament we participated in, and so far it was our best one. I mean, we won 2 matches. That's the best result we had. And yeah, I mean, we improved a lot over the last 2 years. The last Alliance tournament, we got kicked out with 0 victories, and now we managed to win 2s, and it was a pretty good performance, we think.
Yeah, I would agree with everything No Polar said. Our first appearance in any tournament was the very first Neo, and we've been in every tournament since, either as 8-cast in the Neo or with our alt alliance castabouts in the 2 alliance tournaments. We're really happy with how well we did this year. We know we have a lot of things we can improve on, and we'll be definitely looking forward to competing more in the future and going further. I'm still a little disappointed that we're not actually flying this weekend. That's going to be really tough watching matches, knowing that we could have been in there.
Would you guys say that the flying in the Alliance tournament and tournaments in general is as nerve-wracking as they say?
Yes, it definitely is, at least for me. we fly an awful lot of small game PvP. We live in Syndicate, and that's actually our main activity. Small game PvP on Tranquility is fun. I get a lot out of it, but I don't get the shakes. Flying in the tournament, I definitely get the shakes, and I was a nervous wreck getting ready before our matches, and a couple times actually in our matches. It is a lot harder than it looks when watching the streams and things.
What do you think? Do you think anything is going to shift in the meta for the final weekend?
Oh, I'm convinced that the top teams have something very surprising in their hands, which they haven't shown yet. But I'm not really sure what to expect, because it seems when rattlesnakes and Gilas are not banned, you just want to bring them. I know some TP teams haven't done that and still won, but yeah, I think that's the way the tournament will end.
Yeah, it looks like a very strong competitor, at least.
Well, I think another thing, though, is with the way that the ban system is set up, now that you have Dommies, Ishtars, Rattlesnakes, Gilas, all those ships basically to the point where if you're not bringing them, you have to definitely figure there is a strong possibility they will be brought against you. The bans, you can't ban out all the ships you don't want to face, and that is going to leave open some really interesting comps for this weekend. I'm looking forward to watching the matches too. I'm sure that people have thought of some things that we haven't even dreamt of yet. But I know our plan was that if Rattlesnakes, Gilas were not banned, we were planning on bringing them every time.
Do you guys have any advice for new alliances that might want to go for tournaments?
I think they just should start. In the first Neo, we practiced pretty much a few weeks, like 2 or 3 weeks in advance, and threw some setups together and tried to fly them, and we actually won one match. I mean, it's not that difficult to come up with something that works. You just have to watch the previous tournaments, look what the successful teams flew, and you have something that can work and you can win. But you cannot come onto the top of the you cannot make it to the top of the teams, but you can definitely just fly and be placed anywhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing, in cast chat, we're always telling people that the way to get better at PvP is to actually PvP. That there's no minimum amount of skill points or a set of skills or something that you need to have before you can start PvPing. I think the same thing goes with the tournament. If you have people that are interested, go for it. The only way that you're going to get better at learning how the Alliance tournament functions, how the arena works and that sort of thing, is by actually doing it. There is, with the changes to lower the cost of like implants and that kind of thing, the amount of ISK required is not excessive, and just get out there, give it a try.
So any final thoughts for you guys? What do you want to share?
Are we allowed a quick shout out?
Yes.
Because Cast Chat in particular has been awesome for us. They have supported us all the way and have accepted the fact that you can take in Starter Corp in EVE and actually form a community. And we'd like to let them know that the team really, really appreciates that, and we're ridiculously proud to represent them in the Alliance tournament.
Yeah. Castabouts, of course, being the alliance that sprung from the Center of Advanced Studies, sort of those who've graduated from that rookie corp, should we say?
We're still very much an active members of the cast community. We have special interest groups that will let you start out pursuing almost anything in EVE right from day one.
Amazing. Keep up the good work, guys, and thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. The Castabout team have pretty interesting things to say, and I'm glad they took the time to do this interview with us.
Yeah.
Before we go, because I still think we're still waiting for the teams to get on grid, but we're on our way.
We did actually fix the problem though, so that's super impressive. We've managed to get the magical ship or character out. So
Yes.
good.
So we have the same stance in QA. It's working as it's intended. That's really impressive.
It's amazing.
I want to give Bacchanalian a little time to talk about his event coming up, and then we're going to go. Then I assume the match will be ready.
Okay, so I'm doing something for a charity called XII, which I think some people may have heard of. I know there were some EVE players doing it, but it's basically a charity. You do a 24-hour gaming marathon, much as you might run a marathon for a charity, and you raise money, for a cause doing that. And so the cause for XII is the Children's Miracle Network, which is the Children's Hospital Network in the United States. I think they actually do have a few hospitals that they're working with in Canada, and they're looking to expand internationally. But for now, it's just U.S. The one I'm working with is the Colorado Children's Hospital, since it's the local one for me. And what I'm planning on doing as part of a promotional event for this to raise awareness about it and hopefully raise some money for my campaign for it is I have a Nix that I'm not using. I don't really want anymore. It's pretty bling fit. And I'm going to, with the assistance of CCP, do something similar to what happened last night with the Revenant. Have it dropped somewhere for everyone to come and just kill it. So I'm going to be putting up a link a little later on the Evo forums for my campaign, describing a little more about it. And there's links already, I think, on Fail Heap Challenge. I think Eve News 24 ran something on it recently. And there's a possibility that some other people may join me with other super capitals. I'm not sure. There's some other people who want to get on that. So we will see how that goes. But I've set a pretty lofty goal of $10,000. I'm currently at 1,260 something, I think, last I looked. So gotten quite a few donations, and honestly, anything, even if just a couple dollars. You figure we had, 4,900 people in local last night for the Revenant? If we get some similar numbers to that for the Nix event and everyone donates $2, that's huge. It raises a ton of money, and that goes directly to the children's hospitals, which help, children with cancer, children who are fighting, diseases that I don't even, there's so many just crazy diseases out there that treatment's available for, but it's very expensive. And what this network of hospitals does is they don't actually charge the families. If they can't afford the treatment, then they provide the treatment. So it's actually a really, really good cause. And actually as part of that event, on September 25th, I'm going to be going down to the Children's Hospital, and we'll go there and play games with these kids. So we'll play, perhaps console games or something with them, and just kind of meet the people that we're helping, which is a really, really cool event. So it's going to be on October 25th. I'm planning on it being 2000 hours Eve time, so 8 p.m. Eve time. Hopefully that'll kind of straddle the EU and US time zone enough that everyone kind of participates, and it is a Friday night. I will stream the event. I'm planning on putting names up of people who donate as a thank you, and who knows how long it'll take. During that event, I'll be streaming for a full 24 hours. So, just it may not be Eve the entire 24 hours, but definitely we'll stream that event for as long as it goes. So
maybe you can convince the other commentators to join you on another Kitchen Sink Roman like you did last night.
Yeah, and I think one of the other commentators is contemplating getting a super capital to drop with me as well. So maybe Sir Squeebles is talking about doing that after the Exodus flagship went down last weekend. His finances may be taking a hit and may not be able to do that, but we'll see. But either way, it should be a really fun event. If you want to get on a Nix kill mail, maybe have a chance at scooping some X-type loot and things, officer things and so forth, and it'd be a great thing. And we may or may not figure out a way to, restrict it to smaller ships.
We might be able to put it inside of an FW Plex or something like that. We're still working on figuring out some of those details.
So it could be fun. Flight of 1,000 assault frigates or something. Yeah, it'd be a good time. So either way, it should be fun.
I'm sure somebody will just bring a tinker to make your life bad.
Right.
But I'm getting reports that the match is almost ready. So you guys are both going with Shadow Cartel on this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just think they've been just a little bit sharper than Afterlife. I think you're both really good teams, but I feel like Shadow Cartel's execution, outside of that poor heretic pilot who we just beaten into the ground, guy probably just rage quit Eve over that. I think Shadow Cartel have performed a little bit better.
Yeah, I think they've just been the slightly stronger team, and I completely agree that it's going to be very close. But I think Shadow Cartel will take it.
You were going with the Afterlife?
Afterlife. Full stop's going to take it.
Full stop. I think a Shadow Cartel would take it. They've shown better things, in my opinion. And almost winning PL is...
It's impressive.
Almost beating PL is impressive.
Yeah.
Even though a team managed to do it last year, but still this year they're still undefeated. Well, let's not talk more about them. This is the Shadow Cartel versus Afterlife. And I'm assuming that the match is almost ready, and we apologize for the delay that we had. This was an unfortunate node issue.
Yes, so yeah, one of the test characters got locked in space. We needed to call in CSP Veritas to actually move him and then remap the node and all this. I think this is more effort than it's ever taken to remove test from any area of space.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
there you
Shots
go.
fired.
And I was going to hold back on my, this is why you're so good at the Lions tournament now. You've got time to practice because you don't have any saw. I held back on that joke, but here you go.
We know the test guys. They will join us with the making fun of themselves.
Hopefully. Hopefully rather than rage quitting or crying. But yes, I believe that CSP Veritas even broke out his cowboy hat for this. I will
You know it's serious at that point.
Yeah, I will not go deeper into detail on that.
Was that all he was wearing?
No deeper details.
Should we go over the bands again? Do we have those available? Yeah.
yes.
Let's just refresh
For
that.
clarity's sake, Shadow Cartel banned the Proteus and the Loki.
That's right.
While the Afterlife banned the Tengu and the Maulus.
So yeah, I mean that means we're banning out almost all Tinkers. The only Tinker option available at that point is the Legion.
Which is kind of suboptimal compared to the other three. So.
Yes, so in a little bit. I mean, you definitely can't do the. It actually can handle the Armor Tinker Logi okay, though you can't do the crazy out of the box shield tank Proteus that we saw.
Right,
No,
that was-
which is and one of those things that going through that match, Hydra obviously they had a good setup and they flew it well, but who comes in expecting a shield tank Proteus? And
Now, let's just go into space and stop talking.
Okay, we'll just chillax for a sec, everybody. And then we'll just let Grathlick explode, and it's gonna be awesome. It's not gonna be worth, 500 build, but it's gonna be okay.
Do I have to like do it?
I want
Is
every
that kind of
dead
like
motherfucker out of the alliance.
No,
Every
no.
one.
bro?
No, Mad.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Alliance Tournament 12, Day 7. We're Match 3, Shadow Cartel versus the Afterlife. And this is going to be a doozy. I think that's a technical term.
It is.
So let's see. Look, you can see a golem on the screen now. There are actually two golems. Almost a mirror match. They're both taking the setup that PL flew last week. Shadow Cartel are kind of throwing their own little flair on it. As they do, they're taking two Logi frigates in these Navitas. And Squeebles, why don't you tell us about these setups?
Yeah, as you said, I mean, mostly a mirror. You'll see differences in the drone capacity between the two teams. You've got 3 Vexors for Afterlife. You've got 3 Ishtars for Shadow Cartel. So they balance their points among those DPS holes a little bit differently. These Navitas, on the bright side, should have a pretty easy time surviving if sentries are dropped. I mean, they can beat the tracking on those, but this is going to be interesting.
Yep, here we go. And you can see Shadow Cartel are going after the Afterlife Eos. He is painted by that golem. Now let's watch the damage apply.
Yeah, and this is one of those matches where you can't avoid the damage. You can pull some fancy stuff with MJDs and risk going out of the arena, but so remember that thing about Navitas is not dying the sentries.
Yeah, they heard you and they just blapped it
That
out
was
of
wrong.
spite. Yeah.
I did forget, actually. I didn't consider the golem target painter bonuses are absolutely massive.
Yep, and those Navitas.
And that was a
the Shadow
crucial amount
Cartel's
of target
signature
painting.
ships is those twin Logi frigates. They're completely out. And what you see is great piloting by the Afterlife team. They dropped their drones and ran away from them, forcing the Shadow Cartel team to run into those drones, which is what they ended up doing. But now, bam! Schmel in the Afterlife EOS finally got hits. And he's going to go down in short order here.
And it looks like the Afterlife is responding by going after the EOS on the Shadow Cartel side. He is painted, but he's thus far taken no damage. I wonder if he's right in on top of those sentries, maybe.
All right, and this is a great trade for the Shadow Cartel team. As it was going back and forth, they traded their Navitas for an EOS. Great trade.
Absolutely.
Afterlife team now has no links. So all those speeds, little extra speed they have, all that extra armor they had, all gone.
And now damage has stopped completely. I don't know positionally what's been done there, but at the very least, Shadow Cartel should be applying, and they are applying in spades, the Afterlife team, onto the EOS of Lady Naween, and he's not long for this world. Rip.
Yep, Lady Naween, he tried to speed tank these bouncers by just going onto them at 0. Those bouncers dropped by the Afterlife. They're spread out fairly well, not amazingly, and then another ship is just erased.
So this is interesting, though, because that entire time Shadow Cartel wasn't applying any appreciable damage, and now they've just nuked an Ishtar.
Yep, it's all about positioning here and picking the right targets. Both these teams are flying masterfully. Let's see. Whoa. This is like Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Everything is just going down.
Although the sound isn't as good.
The sound is not as good.
But now the the Vexor of King Ruddle is being target painted, so presumably he's going to be gone in just a minute. Enjoy your time in the light. We have paints on the Ishtar of Darth Iden on the other side. But there's definitely appreciable lag between the targets. Look at that Vexor.
They take so much damage from when the volley is hit.
Yeah. And it just seems like, for whatever reason, Afterlife is applying more consistently. And there comes the volley now, but...
it's just a one-for-one blows from this point on. So this is going to be who can like survive the Golem missiles and just all the bouncers hitting at the same time.
Honestly, it's almost perfectly tied, except Shadow Cartel has a lot more damage still left on the field.
Yeah, Shadow Cartel has triple Ishtars, which they get a much better bonus than these Vexors and Navy Vexors.
But on the other hand, Paquito is about to go down, and if you count 2 Ishtars now, that swung the match for them.
Craziness. This is absolutely crazy. Shadow Cartel, they're just struggling applying damage here.
Yeah, it seems like that Vexor Navy issue has been painted for a while, and nothing has happened to it. Those Ishtars have huge drone tracking bonuses. I mean, they are made to absolutely eliminate you with sentries, and right now they're not doing any damage. I don't know. My brain is about to explode if they don't kill something.
Oddly enough, the Afterlife team have a slight advantage here because they actually have drones that aren't sentries.
Really?
So there's just these small swarms of drones going after them, or going after the Shadow Cartel team that are doing a lot of the damage. Shadow Cartel lost another Ishtar.
Yeah.
We had triple Vexor versus triple Ishtar, and the triple Ishtars are losing.
I don't understand where the damage from these Ishtars is going. I mean, maybe it is possible that Afterlife tried to kill off some of their sentries, or that Shadow Cartel just dropped sentries way out of range. But
it looks like Shadow Cartel made a bit of a misplay very early on in the match, and they had to drop 2 sets of sentries, leaving it so they don't have extra sets to drop. And Afterlife just kited back and outpiloted them, plain and simple.
That is really amazing. Looking at those 2 comps. Early on, I think killing the Navitas, it sort of made sense, but it was a little unnecessary given the volley power. And
you can see how powerful those bouncers are.
Yeah. Oh, they just volleyed him.
Voldemir is in structure, but it's too late now.
Yeah.
He's just going to go... It's just Golem... Oh, wow. You know what could happen? If this match goes to time...
Golem to Golem.
We could have Golem to Golem
I don't think that's going to happen. We've got 5 minutes left in the match, and yes, these are just Vexors, and they don't have links. But that Golem, though, he's not...
This is going to be based on fits alone. It's going to be Golem to Golem, I hope. Man, please just let this happen. I think that would be the most hilarious thing.
Yes.
I'm not sure if the Vexors are going to let it happen. The Vexors are piloting incredibly well.
They are.
But the Golem can still hit.
How is it?
Wow. These Vexors must be fit for like pure speed
damage or something, because he just got... Okay, it's 3
He's just getting straight beat down by this Golem.
It is possible they're structure tanked.
I don't think they're structure tanked anymore.
Well, he's not anymore, but he could have been structure tanked.
I mean, he could have been. So we're going to do it. This is going
to happen. This is actually going to happen,
It's going to be Golem versus Golem. Please just make it happen. I want it so badly.
Okay, so while he takes Nismo down in the Vexor...
Okay, this might not be Golem to Golem anymore.
Why do you say that?
The Shadow Cartel Golem is kind of taking quite a bit of damage.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if he can sustain this.
Yeah, but as soon as he eliminates one more of these Vexors, he should be fine. I mean, he's under no... What? How is that possible?
There's most of one Vexor
How do you volley the shields and armor of a Vexor in the Golem, and yet the Ishtars did nothing then?
So both of these cruisers were just flat out just getting under the tracking of all these bouncers. All of this damage was done by these Golems. And, baby.
This is safely, like, the most entertaining but most ridiculous thing I've seen thus far.
This is amazing. This is like 2 shotgun setups going up against each other.
So okay,
Oh,
so it's
man.
gonna.
This is great. It came down to piloting. Afterlife had better piloting, I
Yeah,
think.
absolutely.
Early on, but that's not going to matter. Both of them left the golem in through the bans. They both really wanted to ban out the Tinkers, but they had the same exact idea.
Oh, now hold up though. The Vexor is just out of missile range of the golem. The golem is firing volleys at that Vexor.
Oh,
They're
he's
not
sitting at
connecting.
123.
Now, but what he can do is he can still come out of Bastion and try and move toward him. But based on the fact that that Vexor is piloted really competently,
He is right on the edge of the arena. He's doing exactly what you suggested he do and try and get out of the range of these golem missiles. But this golem can still hit all over the arena, and he's dead center, so he's not going to miss.
I feel like during that extended break, we both took a bunch of crazy pills because this doesn't make sense.
Man, this is great. We're going to have golem to golem action. Oh.
I don't understand this. I like it, but I don't get it, and it makes me afraid. Can you just explain to me why Shadow Cartel couldn't kill anything up until the point where the golem did all the heavy lifting?
Magic? I don't know. That's probably magic.
Probably.
But no, the actual reason is the way they drop their bouncers. And both pilots, they must have practiced this setup during the week, and they definitely practiced against the mirror, and they knew exactly how to get out of the range of the sentries and get out of sentry tracking.
Yeah, that was really impressive. I mean, Afterlife burning.
Both pilots flew really well, but Afterlife flew a little bit better.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter though. Now it's golem to golem. Now it's whose golem was fit the best. Or
I don't think that's actually
tank.
what it is. I think it's more of a who is not going to make a massive mistake.
Well, there's nothing else to shoot. You can only just shoot yourself. You're like the other
Right.
golem.
Right. I feel like. So wait, then this will go into reverse tie-dye.
Yeah.
So in the event of a tie where a match hasn't been decided by time, by a point advantage, or just by a clean sweep, the system will go into reverse tie-dye where everything accelerates. Your mods cycle faster. If you overheat once you get into that stage, it can end very, very badly.
Yeah. If you overheat, that is a huge disaster.
Oh, but by the same token, like. I mean, he's still tanking. Shadow Cartel's golem is still tanking, but if he was dual boost fit, like we said, there's a possibility he could mess something up, run out of ASB charges. But yeah, this is really uncomfortable.
In local, the pilots are gracious enough to just give us some of the lost mails, and it seems like the bouncers are just completely missing. So it's just both golems doing most of the work here.
Can you pull that back up, the Ishar? I wonder, their mid slots. I mean, surely they had application. So they had triple omnidirectional tracking links, but they had all tracking speed loaded.
Yeah.
So Afterlife burned back, mitigated. Oh, sorry, that's the Afterlife side. Shadow Cartel. We need a Shadow Cartel, Ishtar.
Maybe they'll be gracious enough
This is
to
going
throw
to
it in
be.
there.
Can
But
we?
there's 30 seconds left in the match. This is absolutely going to reverse tie-dye, so
Right.
we're going to have 5 extra minutes here to watch 2 golems just wail on each other.
And I mean, it might really get down to a point where it's a battle of capacitor boosters.
It could be.
And if
this
that
might
is-
be one of the first matches that gets decided by like some other tiebreaker rules.
Yeah, that is possible, yeah.
And the craziest part is both these teams are almost identical to start off with.
Yeah.
So how's it going to go?
I don't know, but this match really confuses me.
All right, we are now in 1.5 times tie-dye, and you'll see some of these missiles going comically fast.
As they are now.
Yep. I guess
So-
maybe the Shadow Cartel golem is at a slight disadvantage because he was being shot earlier.
Well, he was, sure. I mean, he's definitely spent more cap boosters. The rebalance Marauders, or even before the rebalance, I mean, you're looking at over 1,000 M3 of cargo capacity.